So today, I decided to do something a little bit different. Many of you know that I had a stroke last week, 9 days ago, and I unfortunately cannot play right now. So normally I'd just produce more music and put it out there and share it with the world, my world, but I cannot do that. So I'm going to take the time today to talk about why I do what I do and the inspirations behind it and the value and importance or the relevance of why I do what I do, which is to express myself through music and why music is so important. I've been doing music my entire life. I started when I was 10 years old. I started playing trumpet. My brother was playing drums. I have a twin. His name's Gary. And I had a sister named Sonia who played clarinet. All of us studied music very hard. We were very intense about it. I was probably more intense and passionate about music than they were. And that's probably why I've been so obsessed throughout my entire life about writing music and recording music. It's always been about original tunes. So that's the route that I'm going now. I'm 57 years old and finally decided that I'm done with IT. 30 years working behind a desk. Tired of proving myself, making other people rich while they take advantage of me. So I'm not going to do that anymore. With the stroke thing, it's kind of a moot point now because it's hard to get a job when you've had a stroke. So what else have I got to do? I'm going to play music. I'm going to write. I'm going to record music. If I can't write and record anymore, I'm still going to promote music. Some way, shape, or form, I'm going to promote music. Because I truly believe how relevant the art of music truly is. I think greatness is inspired by good music. Some of the greatest inventions probably inspired by somebody who wrote a bit of music and they liked it, listened to it, and thought, I can do some good things in life. I'm gonna do something great. It's probably spawned by a piece of music. I don't know for sure, but in my world, sounds good. I'm sticking with it. So, we talk about inspiration. That could be anything from hearing a piece of music, watching somebody perform, or somebody who just liked to listen to music and understood the true nature of why music is written, the rawness, how to write and record life. Music isn't all sunshine and rainbows, and I keep trying to tell people this. There's the blues. It's all about, my girlfriend left me, dog got hit by a car, that sort of thing. Country's the same way. Tells a story. Growing up in America or wherever you're living, tells a story. Classical music, it's profound, has a minor key to it, sounds maybe a little bit depressing, but it tells a story, and it's also inspiring as well. I was inspired by my dad. He started me in music. I watched him play his fiddle, his guitar. He played in a country and western band. They were good. They did the rodeo circuit. He bought his first house from the proceeds from the music that he played live. I wanted to be like him, a lot like him, maybe even more successful. I didn't really have a goal. I just wanted to do it. So he was my first inspiration. But throughout the years, since I started playing professionally, which was I think in 1990, I actually started playing in a band, and we started to tour the local area, southern Illinois, Missouri, St. Louis region. So it was fun. We played covers, but I always wanted to do original material. So my dad would be my first inspiration. My brother and my sister would be inspirations because they were both very, very talented and gifted musicians. Always first chair, always studying, always practicing. They had the discipline that, gotta do this. If I want to make it, I have to put in the time. And we all had the discipline to do that. So, I've had people, had an old girlfriend of mine named Kate Ripperdoff. She didn't play an instrument, she didn't sing, but she listened to music, and she knew the raw nature of what music was about. She understood why people did what they did, why they recorded their song, the messages that they tried to express through their musical art. She just seemed to get it. And I'm one of those people that just seem to get it. It's like, to some of us, music is just noise filler. You go in a bar and you hear the cover band playing. It's to fill up the time that you're there. And it's never been that way with me. I never wanted to play in a cover band. I wanted to do something big, much larger than myself, something that inspires others to move on and do great things, hopefully. If not, just to enjoy, understand, or maybe relate to the music. For somebody to come back 10 years after they saw me play and say, I saw you perform, you guys were good, but I've heard your new music and I can really relate to this song. And I've written a lot of good songs. I mean, just in the last couple of years, I Can Still Feel You. It's about loss. It's about losing somebody you care about, but you can still feel them there with you. It has a message. Everything I've ever written has been based on lifetime experiences, and I try to share that with the world. I don't know why I'm obsessed to share it with the world. Everybody needs something in their life to make them feel valued. Somebody told me, I think it was my dad, said, you gotta leave a legacy. Some way, shape, or form, need to leave a legacy to be remembered. And I guess I picked up on that, and that's why I've been writing music and trying to get my message out there. And I have songs like Blues of Yesterday, blues tune, standard blues tune. It's about not wanting to live in the past. Something that we all probably can relate to. Feels like heaven to me. All these songs are written for my wife, Cindy, or AKA Jellybean. She wanted me to write some music for her, so I wrote some music about her. All of these songs were written for her to show her how much I care about her and to get the point across, hoping that she can relate to what I've written or my audience can relate to what I've written. That's really what it's all about. It's sharing ideas, concepts, relating to your audience. So hopefully that they enjoy the music and are inspired by that particular form of art. So, Sweet Seduction. It's about losing somebody and trying to get them back into your life. We've all had those losses in our lives. So I wrote a song about it. I wrote a song recently called My Obsession. That was about me, personally, as an artist, writing music and sharing it with my fan base. Now, quite frankly, I don't have a fan base. I've been writing and recording for a decade or longer. I might have 40 viewers on a video I release. It's disappointing, but I'm not necessarily doing it for my audience. I'm also doing it for myself because I want to leave a legacy. So when I'm gone, dead and buried or whatever, I want my wife to be able to go back and say, I remember when. I remember when. And she'll be able to relate to music that I've written. She'll be able to understand what I was feeling when I wrote the music. And then hopefully she'll get some joy out of it. Or maybe my children or my grandchildren. You know, I don't know, is that selfish? I don't know if that's selfish or not. It's me trying to share me and my story with others so they can relate and hopefully make better decisions, better than the ones that I've made, learn from it, or relate to it, or be inspired by it. That's pretty much the gist of it. That's simple, but that's the way it is. So everything that I've been writing has been about some part of my life that I have shared. I've written about pain, loss, being betrayed, lied to, stepped on. Pretty much anything that has to do with life, I've probably written something that relates to the emotional impact or the aspect of emotions when dealing with, critical situations. So that's why I do what I do. It's to share, inspire, hopefully inspire. Would I like a larger fan base? Oh, you bet. Be great if I could actually create a CD jacket, shrink wrapped and the whole thing, the lyrics inside and photographs and all that stuff. But my 40 viewers don't support me to be able to spend $2,000 to do that kind of work. So I do everything custom. I write everything out myself on my CDs and hand them to my friends. I don't even charge them. I never have. I may have charged one or two people my entire career in music. It's never been about money. Well, now that I'm looking to get into doing this full time, I would like to become a professional songwriter, get my message out there. If I can't perform it, which clearly I can't right now since I had that stroke, I'll get somebody else to do it. Hopefully they'll have more success than I have. Hope their viewership is better than mine, because the people I associate with on Facebook and YouTube, I don't think anybody really gives a crap. So I don't know why. I can't do anything about it. I just put it out there and hope that somebody can relate to it and says, hey, this is pretty good stuff, and pass it on. But that's just not the way it works. So I'm doing this video today because it's different and I cannot perform. So I thought I would just mention some people that have inspired me. I mentioned my old girlfriend, Kate Ripperdahl. She just listened to music. She inspired me because she had that ear. She understood the messages behind the music. And I go back to the days of, Mark Dover, who played bass in my first band, Bozo Rooster, and Scott, who sang lead. I still speak to his wife to this day. His ex-wife, excuse me. He passed on about 12 years ago, I think. I still speak to her. I speak to Jay Dover, Mark's older brother. He's been doing the jazz R&B circuit for 3 decades now in the local metro area, in the St. Louis area. Great voice. It's a great voice. Been trying to do work with him. He doesn't want to work with me. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a time thing or an ego thing. So, Craig Reno plays in a band called Primetime, or did play in a band called Primetime. In the 90s, they really were the shit. They played everything, and they played it very well. John Suarez was the lead singer. He plays in the band now, too. Can't remember the name of his band right now off the top of my head. My memory's not so good. I know that Craig Reno, the former guitar player for Primetime, plays in Ship of Fools. I know Suarez has a band of his own, and he's doing original material. I'm great. I love that. I think it's great. Dave Mendoza from a band called Sammy and the Snow Monkeys was back in the 90s. He's performing right now out there. Great voice, plays guitar very well. I mean, all of these guys were inspiring to me to watch them perform and play. Cosmic Dave. I used to go over to CJ Dauber's house and I would go get high with him and my girlfriend, and we would listen to this band play in his apartment. And Cosmic Dave was fantastic on the guitar. He just knew how to make that Stratocaster sing. He moved on and moved to Texas and started playing professionally. I don't know, 20 years now. Haven't heard nothing from him. Don't know what happened to him. I do see CJ from time to time. Say hi to him. That's pretty much it. But I mean, just thinking about how much he inspired me to play, it means a lot that because of him, I continued to play, get better, learn how to write and record music. And it was partially because of him. I mean, there's a list of people. Tommy Diamond played in cover bands pretty much his entire life. Metal bands, loved metal, played guitar. He passed away from cancer. I think it's been about a decade now. He was inspirational. I don't know what else to say about him. I didn't get to see him play very often because we had split up and gone our own separate ways. I lost track of him, he lost track of me. But I know that he continued to play, progress, and he loved it. I just saw videos of him on Facebook, and it looked like he was having fun. His daughter loved it, I know that. So to me, he was successful. I look at Scott Hutchinson, sang for a band called Rock House. They did classic like Doors and Pink Floyd. They were fantastic. Scott Hutchinson knew how to grab his audience. Had a great voice, and he ends up being a mail carrier for the city of Mascoutah. I don't know if he's still carrying mail now, but I know he did. And I know that he kind of gave up the professional life as a musician, singer. I think he moved on to do lessons at some point. It saddens me to know that some people just let it go. My dad, for instance, I thought he would play until his dying days, but he gave it up early because it became too much work to play. He had to struggle through pain, arthritis, and all this. I understand all that. I mean, I've dealt with it myself, but I chose not to give up. I kept playing because I was obsessed. I'm still obsessed. I just want to leave that positive legacy, leave something behind so my grandchildren, my kids, my wife can enjoy after I'm gone. I mean, you got the bands, the Super Jam. It's a pretty new band in this area. They've been doing a lot of cover tunes, Boston, old classic rock stuff. They're phenomenal. I've seen them half a dozen times, and it's like listening to the radio. They're that good. Dr. Chevegas from back in the day, another cover band. They did metals, classic rock, disco. I've never been much of a disco fan, but when they did it right. They knew what they were doing. You have to credit them for the work that they put in to get it done right. And these are not cover bands per se. They are extraordinary cover bands. Something like I would choose to be in if I were going to do covers. So I don't know. I have so many influences. I mean, you look at Stevie Ray Vaughan, of great influence of mine. Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, all of these guitar players that just knew how to do it and get it done right. You cannot help but appreciate these guys. And then I look at guys like Joe Bonamassa. He did not let the record company dictate how he was going to write or record or what he was going to write or record. From my perspective, keep the record companies out of it. All they are is just, leeches. They suck the money from you because you have the talent. And they get most of it and you don't get anything. Forget that. Do it yourself, do it on your own. Skip them if you can get away with it. I don't believe in the revolving door. Today's country, revolving door. 2 years, you got a hit. You go through the door, you can't provide another hit. They just bring somebody else in. They got the template already in place. They know how to promote you. They have the promoters. They have the record company, buy-ins, the guys that foot the bills, all of that to provide the shows, the concerts, all of that stuff. If you don't make them any money, see ya, you're gone. I like the artists that said it's not about the money. It's about the art. It's about reaching my audience, about having a story to tell, something my audience can relate to. That's what I like about music. That's what I like about creating music. And that's what I will always enjoy about music. I don't think I would ever quit music if I didn't have to. With the stroke, I may never be able to play again. I may never write again or sing. I don't know. It's been 9 days. I've been working on it. It hasn't been good. Quite frankly, I've been horrible. It's like I never played before, so not good. But I'm still promoting music. And I had to say thank you for all the people that came before me. All these guys in these bands. Amber Faye, Kurt, lead singer, is a very good friend of mine. He's had this band for 20 years. I've been supporting him for 20 years, going to the shows, watching him play, trying to get him to write original material, trying to get him to work with me to write original material. I don't know what it is. People just don't want to work with me. I don't know if it's because I'm direct. I don't pull my punches. I say what I think. And I'm very, very picky about sound, the quality of sound, and doing things right. We're talking production level, professional level. Do it right. And people don't want to really take the time to deal with that, I guess. I don't really know. All I know is I've been reaching out to all these artists, and I can't get anybody to work with me, so that's why I do it alone. So Amber Fade, he plays in the Bloodshot Red too. Kurt, he's the lead singer for both bands. Different styles of music, same genre or generation of music, maybe a little newer in Bloodshot Red, but the same concept, older classic music. He does it very, very well. I spoke about Jay Dover. He used to have a funk band. I think they had 11 pieces. Had a horn section and everything. They were the bomb. And he could sing anything. Great voice. He did the 50s, old R&B sound, Detroit. He did all of that. 60s. Now he's doing the jazz ensemble thing with his buddy, playing conga drums and singing lead vocals. He has a guitar player that sits in with them. They're pretty good, but I still can't get any of them to work with me. Not sure why. So, I don't know, I just wanted to get the message across that sometimes music's not about making money. It's not about filling the pockets of the bigwigs that own the studios, the big studios. It's about just getting your point across, having an idea, sharing it with your audience because they can relate to it, learn something from it, or be inspired by it. Something that brings them back to the table to put your CD back in the CD player or live stream you on the internet, whatever source they use to listen to your music. It doesn't matter to me. It's just about leaving a legacy. So that's all I wanted to say about that. I hope that should I get back into writing and recording, that I can garner a larger audience. Excuse me, I'm having trouble talking sometimes. I can garner a larger audience and produce original material that's worthy of a viewership or listenership, something that people can relate to. That's my goal. I'd like to be able to make a living. I'd like to be able to shrink wrap my CDs, create professional grade CDs, sell them, make a living as a songwriter. I want to get a Grammy on my fireplace. I don't even have a fireplace. I'd like to have a Grammy. That would be cool. It would tell me, hey, all the years you spent doing this, you never gave up. Because I was obsessed. I'm still obsessed. I'm obsessed about my Grammy. I need that Grammy. So, I don't know. Validation from my audience, I guess, would be great. I'd love to expand my listenership. But I need help. I need my listeners on YouTube to share. And I need my friends that I grew up with, that I've known for 40 years, or associations that I've known for 40 years, to say, I know this guy. What's he up to? Let's see. Listen to me. You might even like some of my stuff. Because I've written some pretty good music. And I'm not being cocky. I'm just saying I've written some pretty good music that I wish more people would listen to and be inspired by. Because that's what it's really about. So, that's pretty much all I have to say. I guess I'll just say goodbye. This is XTC Radio, 96.5 on your dial. Not. I used to close with that in my Facebook posts, but nobody ever paid any attention to that, so it doesn't matter. Y'all have a nice day. Bye. Every thought I have, I'm sorry you choose not to know me. Told you the truth. By the way, I've tried more than you'll ever know. Am I disgraced? I've kept my word to try and change things so I can learn. But you still deny me. It's killing me inside. And every word, every thought
sorry you choose not to know me.